everyone, this is Chichi Dagogowariso, aka the Storybook Lady, as I like to call myself, aka Blossom Kids Corner, and you are welcome back to my channel. I want to thank all my returning subscribers, all those that have given this video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, that has just paid us a visit on our channel. I want to say a big thank you. It's because of people like you that we are always here every Saturday. Today we're going to be talking about an issue or a topic that is not very popular or common, but yet has been experienced by virtually every home. Okay, some people will call it a very stubborn child. Some people will say, oh, this child is possessed, but it's actually a problem that has a name. It's called ODD, Oppositional Defiance Disorder. This is a mental health issue that involves defying parents, breaking rules, and other serious behavioral problems. Okay, and if it's not treated early, it can lead to another type of disorder called conduct disorder, which includes criminal acts like stealing and hurting people. All right. Now, in some of my previous videos, I've always said it that children are actually blank sheets of paper, and they come out to become whatever we shape them or we write on those papers as their lives. And it depends on us to make sure that our children are sheets of paper that can be readable or that will be loved. All right. Remember, I said ODD is a mental health disorder. It's actually called a behavioral disorder, and it's mainly diagnosed in childhood, more common in boys than girls at 8 years old. So from when they are younger, they might actually be stubborn, but it might not just be as what you call defying. When they get to that point where they can actually look at you in the face and tell you no. When they are 2, at 2, 3, they have that natural no. Everything you say is no. But when they get to these older ages and they keep doing that, then they are deliberately defying your order. So what are the symptoms? These symptoms are not exclusive to ODD, but these are like the basic telltale signs that you would see and then raise red flag. That should raise a red flag to know that this is the line which this child is towing. Frequent temper tantrums, they're always arguing, refusing to obey orders, questioning rules and regulations, easily angered, and they speak harshly and rudely almost all the time. Every little thing gets them angry. They're always sad. They're always wanting to make people unhappy. They're always throwing temper tantrums. That's where we start looking towards ODD. What are the causes of ODD? There's the parent-child relationship. There are genetics, environment, and psychological health. Now, as parents, how do you relate with your children? What kind of, who do your children see you as? Do they see you as just their parent or their friend? You should be your child's first friend, right? Because you are the one that gave birth to them. You are the first people they saw from birth. So you should be their first friends. They should learn to confide in you more than they would confide in a total stranger outside. So your relationship with your children actually determines a lot in their behavior. Secondly is genetics. Remember, because it's a mental health problem, it could actually be, there could be some form of genetic how will I put it now, malfunctioning, So maybe you could actually trace your ancestral lineage to know if any of your parents or anybody in your family had this issue. Then environment. The kind of environment you bring your children up determines how they grow up, to tell you the truth. Like, if for those of us in Port Harcourt, if you bring up your child in a place like GRA, and okay, if we take a comparison, a child born in GRA and a child born at Borokiri Sandfield would not behave the same way. Not because the person that was born in GRA has rich parents, no, but the environment, those are two different environments and would definitely rub off on the child. And in like manner, if you take a child from Borokiri Sandfield to GRA and the child lives there for say 5 to 7 to 10 years, his behavior will never be the same as when he was at Borokiri. So that's to tell you that your environment actually plays a role in the behavior of your child. And then finally, psychological health. Now, everybody has problems. Even your child. Maybe your child might expect to be doing better, or maybe you have set expectations and say, I want you to come first. And maybe in his own capacity, maybe he wasn't understanding, but you did not create the room or the environment for him to come to me to say, Mommy, this thing my teacher is teaching me, I'm not understanding. Or maybe the child felt, if I tell you, you will beat me up, or you will not be happy with me, or you won't believe me. And that child might be bottling up that issue, and he sees that he keeps failing, and you're not dealing with the reason why he's failing, but you keep nagging him or punishing him for failing. After some time, he just begins to defy you because he's trying to get your attention, even though it's from the negative, in a negative way. He just wants to do things that will upset you just to get at you. Okay? So, as parents, we need to know how to deal with these issues on our own, first of all, at home. And then if we can't manage these issues at home, then we get mental experts help. I'm not a mental expert, so I have my limitations, but at least I can, as a parenting coach, I can actually help us out with what we need to know. All right, so how do we deal with ODD at home? Use specific praise to encourage positive behavior. When your child does well, maybe they do a good deed. For every good deed, let there be positive praise. Okay? So if your child takes their plate to the kitchen, you tell them, good job, that was a good thing you did. If they do something nice, or every good thing they do, you make sure you praise them accordingly. Secondly, let there be a structured reward system. Create a reward chart. Let them know that for every good deed, there's a reward that comes with it. That way, it will encourage them to keep doing more good deeds if they want to keep getting rewarded. And also, in the opposite vein, for every bad deed, let there be a consequence chart. So let them know that if I do good, I get rewarded, and if I do something bad, I lose privileges. So you can draw up a privilege chart. Let them know that these are your privileges. I'm going to take away your iPad. I'm going to turn off the TV. You're going to go to the naughty corner. Things like that. Constructive consequences to their bad behavior, so that they know that for every bad behavior, they lose certain privileges. Then use short, direct, and specific instructions. When you're giving them instructions, don't go about, I'm always telling you every time you don't hear. No. Just give them simple instructions. Take your plate to the kitchen, please. And then when they don't do it, then you can actually deal with it. If you've done it the first time and they disobey, try a second or a third time, and let them know. Be firm and stern. Let them know that this is the last time I'm going to talk to you about it, and if you don't do this, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to have to do with you. And when they do it, don't look at their face. Don't let their baby face maybe deceive you into pitying them and say, oh, I'm pitying you today. No, children always want to push you. They want to push you to the highest point you can ever get to. So if you keep pitying and pitying, before you know that, mommy won't do anything. After she will say she'll pity me. No, if you do something wrong, and maybe you've warned them like 2 or 3 times about it, and you tell them that if I say this again, I'm going to beat you, and they refuse it. When they do it again, you spank them. Let that child know that you were serious. Be very stern with your promises. If you promise the child and say, if you do very well, I'm going to buy you chocolates. If they do very well in school, make sure you buy the chocolates. But if they fail, if they do badly, and you tell them, if you do this thing again, I'm going to beat you. And if they do it again, please make sure you do that. Live up to that promise so that they will never, ever, ever do that again. And then acknowledge their emotions. Remember, it's a mental problem. So a lot of times the children can't even control themselves. They don't know exactly why they're doing what they're doing. So it's for us as parents to help guide them. When you see them, observe them a lot. When you see them in that mood, come to them, talk to them. Is there anything you want us to talk about? How are you feeling? I know I can see you're getting angry. I can see you're angry. Talk to them. Create that relationship with them, that environment, such that they can actually rely on you. Now, if you have done all of this and you're still not getting any headway, then we need to now look for the mental health experts and let them diagnose what the problem is and then seek therapeutic help. Now, there are different kinds of treatments for ODD. There are about four treatments or 4 treatment methods. The first one is therapy. Now, therapy, there are different types of therapy. There's psychotherapy. Psychotherapy helps the child, is a type of counseling that is aimed at helping the child to control his or her anger. Right? Remember, it's a psychological problem. So we need to know via expert help why they are angry. Like sometimes I do it to my kids. Whenever I shout at them and they're angry, I'm asking them, why are you angry? It's not about what made you angry. Why are you angry? So a psychotherapist would know how to help them control their anger and what to do whenever to help them to identify when they're about getting angry, and then also help them to know what to do when they're about getting angry. Second type of therapy is the cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, cognizance or cognitive has to do with thinking or memory. So this helps them to control the way they think. Now, if we give them positive vibes or if we help them to think good thoughts, it will be able to, you cannot be angry when you are happy, right? So if you're thinking good thoughts that make you happy, then it tends to take the anger away. So that's why we need these 2 kinds of therapy to help work hand in hand to be able to manage the situation. Then thirdly, we have family therapy. Now, in as much as the child has his or her own therapy to go to, but we as a family also need to be counseled on how to communicate and relate with that child. Don't see the child as a punishment. Don't see the child as a gift from the devil. Don't see the child as maybe a punishment for your sins in your time past. Because some people say, oh, this child, maybe God just used you to punish me for all the sins I committed as a young man or a young lady. Don't see that your child as that. But family therapy will help understand how to communicate and interact with the child. Okay? So that's why we all need that therapy. Then we have medication, which is not within my scope, but just to know that, for you to know that there are certain kinds of medication, depressants, that will help calm the child down almost at every time. Then for us, the parents, we need also to, the final type of treatment is family modification, right? Family modification. You need to also modify your parenting style. Remember I said earlier, like dealing with the way you deal with ODD at home, those are also parenting styles, but you also need to make the child understand that you need that warm relationship has to exist between you and your child and also all your other children, and then help them to be able to deal with other people properly. Ignore annoying behavior. It's not every time that they put up a tantrum that you react. Sometimes, no matter how annoying they are, just because you know what exactly the problem is and the consequences eventually after your reaction. So just learn to ignore their whining and all of that, and then pray for them. In whatever religion you believe in, you can also say a prayer for them and ask that God Almighty will also help, because we can really do all of this and yet it doesn't abate anything. So a word of prayer would also help. For some time, Bosom Kids Corner has been visiting the Port Harcourt Remand Home, and these are the kind of issues, undealt with issues that got those children in that place in the first place. So we need to make sure that we steer our children right so that they don't end up in places like that. Even though the children there are being rehabilitated and reintegrated back into society, but it doesn't tell nice or good for our children to be in such kind of places. So this video is not just for parents, birth parents, it's for adoptive parents, it's for guardians, school teachers, head of schools, those who have been put in the position to take care of children or to manage children. We need to learn and understand that every child is different in their own way, and we need to know how to manage them so that you don't keep putting a square peg in a round hole. All right, so I hope this video has reached out to as many as it ought to. I want to thank everybody. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing, watching, and sharing. I have a surprise. The month of May is going to be a surprise month. So, no, I'll leave it for June. I'll leave it for my birthday. All right. Thank you, everyone. Once again, this is Chichi Dabegowari, aka the Storybook Lady, and I am signing off.